Hi, today we're going to talk about the Harley Davidson XG750A Street Rod and the problem where people cannot get the green light when they go into neutral. They try all sorts of things. They go from first to second and then back to neutral, and that sort of works. Or they try and select neutral as they're still rolling forwards, and that sort of works. But any decent motorcycle should be able to go into neutral. So what is the real problem? The problem is this: Harley Davidson fitted a really poorly made neutral switch indicator, which is shown here, still fitted to the bike on the right hand side. They know this and they redesigned the new one that's on the left. If you can see the little round pins, that's the electrical contact. You see how much bigger it is on the new switch. Also, to go with the new neutral light switch, Harley redesigned the contact pin, shown here on the left hand side with its new contact pin plate. The one on the right hand side, the cheap brass pin, has a very flat end. The new pin on the left has a nicely rounded shaped pin to make contact with the pad on the new neutral switch. Right, how do we get to the neutral switch indicator? We take off the belt casing, and that hole you can see just back there is 2 screws. The switch comes out, and then the plate comes off, and the pin pulls out, leaving the spring inside, and then you put it all back together, which is what I'm about to start doing. That's the new pin back in place. That's now the plate back in place. I held the slot with a small screwdriver to tighten up the bolt in the middle, and now when I push on the pin, it's nice and smooth. The plate isn't stopping the pin from moving. Here is the neutral switch contact. After cutting a few zip ties, we push down the little tab here, and we pull it apart. And I've cut another zip tie at this position here, and that's it. Now both switches are off the bike. You can see the bottom switch, that tiny little brass contact, is what you're trying to make with your foot through the gearbox. The new one on the top is much bigger. And there's the new switch, all back in place. Just follow the cable going through to that white connector there, and you're done. These are the part numbers that you're going to need. The cardboard part number is the switch assembly, and it comes with a new pin, the old pin on the left. The top left is the O-ring. I changed it, you probably don't have to. And the top right is the back plate. All these parts are redesigned numbers, and have been upgraded. This is the reason why an XG500 XG750 Street or XG750A Street rod won't go into neutral. Harley have changed these parts. They haven't bothered to tell anybody. They haven't bothered to recall any of the bikes. If you know what you're doing mechanically, go ahead and change it. If you don't know what you're doing, then go to your local Harley dealer and say, change this for me. And by the way, charge Harley.